lot more work goes into running a deathmatch show than running, you know, your regular wrestling show. As you can see in this, you know, hallway that you guys can't see at home, there is all weapons behind this camera, and they all had to be built, they all had to be broken, and they all had to be somewhat safe for all of the wrestlers.
Are you the one that conceives of these deathmatch contraptions, or is it like a joint effort?
Oh, definitely joint effort between the wrestlers, the staff, and like a little bit of my crazy mind, like when it comes to like something new or whatever that pops into my head. But I mean, wrestlers definitely contribute a lot to what weapons are being used in their own specific match.
Okay, cool. I like that you give them that creative freedom.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you take that away from them, and it's only your thought, then it's not going to really come off as natural. You know what I mean? If you give some of the best their own creative control, you know what I mean? Sky's the limit.
Absolutely, and it's interesting that you say that, because a lot of more casual fans, maybe fans that watch WWE, and they might be displeased with the product because of this, you know, control. You can see it; it's very obvious on television sometimes.
Yeah. There's writers, there's like, you know, the agents of the match, and by the time it gets to the wrestler, it's not even their thought anymore. Yeah. And if the wrestler's not emotionally invested in the idea, there's no way that it crosses over. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I might come up with an idea, and then, for example, like, you know, I have an idea for John Wayne Murdoch. I'll say it to him as if it was kind of his idea. So, like, by the end of the idea, it's our idea. You understand?
Yeah, like a truly joint effort.
Yes. Yeah. So, therefore, they're emotionally invested in the idea or weapon or, you know, style of match. You know what I mean? And I feel if you could have a locker room full of guys that will follow the leader, but also take that self-leadership, that makes for a good team.
Can you explain the psychology of a deathmatch to me without giving too much away?
Oh, yeah.
Course, I mean, how do you go about that?
What built, like, yeah.
It's not, basically what I'm saying is it's not just, you know, people
pick it up and swing
weapons.
it. No,
yeah,
no.
To it.
And all of these guys are such elite wrestlers.
Yeah.
Before they cross over into deathmatch wrestling, you know, it's not like, because I also get approached by a lot of guys that think that there is an easy way. Like they think like, oh, I kind of failed at being a pro wrestler. Hang on, let me just take this easy route, mutilate my body, but if they didn't do it good there, they ain't doing it good here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm totally with that.
And it's crazy that there's that misconception amongst wrestlers and amongst fans, you know? It's like, how can you just put something into such a box? But if you had to...
Oh, deathmatch wrestling is garbage.
Deathmatch wrestling is garbage.
But like, I could ask all the, like, I could ask questions to you right now, and I know your answers. Yeah. Because today's your first experience in this world.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, tonight, you're not going to sleep when you first go home. Like, you're going to have an adrenaline rush. Exactly. We all have it right now. And this is the next point that I'm getting into. What I want you to do also while you're doing this, look up the definition of bloodlust.
Oh, okay.
Bloodlust is a condition that all of us have.
Yeah.
And it's the crave of that smell. It's the crave of watching two people battle each other with blood involved, because there's just like this extra emotion that people feel when they're at a show like this that you don't get anywhere else. Not necessarily ICW either, because I don't really care about what's at the top of the flyer. Deathmatch community is all the same to me. I feel like it's us, and then there's all those other things.
So as far as the future of deathmatch wrestling goes, where do you see deathmatch wrestling evolving, and what are the potential dangers as not only, you know, deathmatch wrestling evolves, but also regular wrestling, you know, clean style wrestling with high spots and all this? Like, when is too much enough? Or is there never a line that's drawn? There's a line.
There's a line, and we dangle on that line all the time, but there's too much. And these guys sometimes do go overboard, and I feel like deathmatch wrestling Like, obviously they bleed, but if they have to go to the hospital, that's too far. You know what I mean? And like too sharp of objects, like objects that are like, hey, let's try this out, and that person gets cut. I mean, there is a too far, and sometimes they go too far. Today, no one went too far.
Thankfully, yeah. But
Yeah.
ultimately, you do have everyone's best interest at heart.
Absolutely.
Which is important, not
Absolutely.
only as someone who runs a successful indie promotion in the U.S., but as someone who has become so synonymous with deathmatch wrestling as well.
The thing about deathmatch wrestling, which I'll also tell you, is about 5-6 years ago, I jumped into that pool, and I said to myself, I really just want to stay in this world. The vision got a little cloudy for a little bit where I was in my former company, and those shows started to change a little bit, and then things happened, and then I had my own company, and I'm never leaving the deathmatch world ever. I could say it right into the camera. I don't want any different fans. I don't want different shows. I don't want traditional shows. I want violence. I want men fighting, not little boys flipping. It's not my thing. It's not my personal preference. I like people that, throw down. That hurt my shoulder a lot.
Oh my God.
One thing I also want to talk about before we cut it off is
Absolutely.
I feel that there is also a upper echelon of deathmatch wrestling, which we as a community call the Deathmatch Elite. And it's a higher level of guys. Half of the locker room here, I consider a part of that. I mean, I'm not going to name names, but they know it. The ones that are elite, they have their own separate group chats. They talk amongst themselves.
Wow, okay.
It is what it is, but it's a very special status to get there, because once you're there, you're there. And it's like, I'm a deathmatch, like I do death matches, and then there's Alex Colon, there's Eric Ryan, there's John Wayne Murdoch, there's Reed Bentley, there's Akira. There's those guys that are the elite, and they are here in the United States. Then you go to Japan, and you see Takeda. You see, guys in Japan like Masaoka, guys in Japan like Kobayashi. Then you go to Mexico, and you see Sikope, Miedo, Violento Jack, Crazy King. Deathmatch wrestling has now gone worldwide. You go to the UK, Big Joe. Once these borders open up, it's gonna be
crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. Yes.
Well, I look forward to seeing what the future of deathmatch wrestling is once we're not in.
I can't wait to have her back, by the way. I can't wait. She was a joy.
Enjoyed it.
She was a joy.
Thank you so much. It was really nice interviewing with you, and I hope we do this again.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much.